What's up, YouTube? I'm recording this intro after the fact because apparently I never recorded an intro for this last video. So I don't really know what's going to be in this video. Some stuff, some things and stuff. And yeah, let's just get right into the work. Okay, the engine is all back together, 100%. Just quick run over a couple different things. So both of these fittings actually are dash 16, and they're from a company called Autoplumb. So this is using the stock water pump. This is not that uncommon. A couple different people make this thermostat housing adapter, but this one, they may be the only ones who make it. It basically sandwiches a tapered rubber gasket in between two parts here to smash down on top of the original water neck so that you could have an AN without having to weld it to the water pump. I did that because I'm trying to do drag week and those type of events with this car. If for some reason I need a water pump, I don't have to worry about finding a welder or anything like that. You could undo this and redo this. I don't even think you need to change anything. I think you could reuse it completely as is. Down here, I have the Motion Raceworks pointer. Unfortunately, this ICT billet bracket uses the same holes as this, so I'm probably gonna have to cut these spacers down a little bit so I can move this pointer back. But that shouldn't be too big of a deal. But you can see I have the ICT front accessory set up. So it's a truck space, ATI damper, F-body water pump with spacers, F-body power steering. And I think this is the truck alternator. It must be because it's an original or old alternator. Then these are old blemished Motion Raceworks valve covers. They don't even make these anymore. You've seen the intake, the Howie rails. I have the Motion Steam kit. Down here you can see I have my dash 10 drain fitted in here. New crank position sensor. All new sensors everywhere basically. Cam position, oil pressure. Down here, I forget who makes this, but adapter for the oil feed for the turbo, blocked off the other return on this side. New water temp sensor. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. I got the throttle body all back together with the new gasket. I had a little bit of trouble getting the actual right gasket for the throttle body, but I got that taken care of. You can see also I adapted the power steering to AN. So that's that. Now we're gonna move back onto the car so we can get this in there and locked up for the last time. All right guys, so yesterday I spent some time getting the garage cleaned up a little bit, clean up the ultrasonic, put away some stuff I won't be using for a little while, just generally kind of straightened up. We're gonna have a lot of work coming up here in a short amount of time, so I'm trying to stay as clean and organized as I can while I go forward. So let me kind of show you what's happened. So you can see all this is all cleaned up. You'll see I have a drive shaft now. I actually assembled that yesterday. I don't know why, but I didn't get any footage of doing that. But it's a Sunix. It's a Sunix yoke. These are strained U-joints, 3150s on both ends. And then this is a Spicer adapter, which will go on the Drift Motion differential adapter that's on its way. I don't know when it's supposed to be here. This drive shaft I actually got off another SC guy who had a LS in his. I don't actually even know if it fits, but I'm hoping it does. And then obviously the motor is all ready to go, and you'll see parts of a roll bar here. We'll get into that a little bit later. I actually went and picked that up today. We'll cover that when we get to it. So now what I'm gonna do is move the mower and the ATV and lower the car down, and we're gonna start working in the engine bay, getting it ready to go so I can get the engine in, the transmission in, and start getting this stuff finalized. So you can see this garage is getting a little ridiculous. I can't wait to get the transmission, the motor in the car, out of the way, get the plow put away. but whatever. Also, you'll see this foul right towards my intercooler, but this pipe right there saved the day. And ignore this whole mess. All right, so here we are under the hood, and I've actually been trying to avoid this project for a little while. I don't know why. I just don't really feel like doing any of this work. But I have some cutting to do over here. Obviously, I got to clean up a little bit of the surface rust. This is actually not even on the car. This is rust from the piece that holds the turbo, or that supports the turbo. I need to get rid of the fuel lines, and I thought there was another one over here I need to take out. There is somewhere, I don't remember where it's at. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the heater stuff. Of course, it's a Lexus, so there's an actuator that controls an actuator, and one of those two is broken, which is pretty common, and it's like $200 for a new one. So I just haven't done anything with it, and I don't think I'm going to. If you saw on the motor, I have the heater hoses looped for now. So I'm probably just gonna take all that stuff off and free up this space back here, and I'll figure that out later. Obviously, I'm gonna need a valve if I'm gonna do something, but that could wait. I gotta get the mounts kind of back in. You'll see, I don't know how well you can see, but I have the AN adapter for the power steering. This one is the return, and I might change that back to the stock fitting, just because on the F-body power steering pump, it's just like a plastic nipple, and you can't really do much with that. There is a company who makes a AN adapter for it, but it's $50 for that one fitting, and it's just a return. It doesn't have any pressure, so hardly seems worth doing that. So I'll probably just change that out to the stock one, then I could just have a rubber hose, power steering hose between the two, call it good. And then, let's see. This is my ABS delete, which I was contemplating getting rid of. You could see it runs right there, you know, to the other front. I was thinking of getting rid of it because I was going to do a line lock. I'm going to do a line lock at some point, but I don't know that I'm going to get it done this year before I start running the car. So I might actually just tidy this up, get it mounted and installed properly, get these fittings down here tightened up, which have been dripping forever, which has annoyed the shit out of me forever. I've wiped up the bottom of the car a million times. Every time I look at it, there's some brake fluid there. So I gotta get those tightened up. Oh, here's that other line I was trying to find where it was. I don't even know what the hell that is. I don't know if it's a vent or what, but that's gotta come out. And yeah, that's about it. I'm just gonna try and clean everything up. Maybe get a coat of paint on it. Over here is where I'm gonna build the catch can setup for the engine. That's probably gonna be the next fab thing, but what I'm gonna do first is try and get the engine bay cleaned up, get the engine in, and then I'm gonna start working on some of that fab stuff. So let me get you guys set up somewhere for a time lapse, and I guess I'm just gonna get to cutting and grinding. All right, I think I cut you guys off a little bit the last time. I think my camera died while I was doing my time lapse, and then I did more work on the car yesterday, but I didn't record it because I was helping my neighbor with something and doing a couple other things at the same time, and it was a little back and forth. But you can see I got the passenger side cut out. I did not really want to cut out a big chunk of the car like that, but I had drilled a couple holes as the turbo placement moved around a little bit, and it was all kind of mangled and a mess, so I figured I'll just cut it. Eventually, I do want to actually run the roll cage and come through, tying the top of the shock towers and down to the frame rail, and then cut all of this out from the shock towers forward and make it all a tube front end, but that's a next year project. Over on this side, this was cut from the Pro Charger bracket when I was doing the Pro Charger on the 1UZ. Again, I just kind of cleaned it up for now. What I did yesterday was took this thing outside, cleaned it all up as best I could, and scrubbed it all. So now I'm going to paint both of these areas. Not a great job. I'm just going to kind of get it so that there's no bare metal. Again, next year I plan on actually really going into this engine bay and getting after it. But once I get that touched up, then the engine's finally going to go in, and it should stay in. So I am going to get you guys set up somewhere and get this thing painted and keep moving. All right, it's been a while. Paint's dry enough. I'm sure you guys saw I brake cleaned the heck out of all, like, this area and this area. Wiped it down. It was really dirty, even though I spent, I don't know, hour and a half yesterday cleaning it all. And it's still, I don't know how it'll show up, but it's still fish-eyed, which is really irritating. But I'm gonna redo this next year anyway, so I'm not gonna be too obsessive about it. I just want to make sure it didn't rust up. So now I'm gonna back the car back so I can get the cherry picker in front and get this engine set in.